Oh my god, that must be. Hey, okay, sorry, bro, you wildin'.
Oh, you've waited 10 weeks for this moment. We are here. It's the final episode of the season of the Unprofessional Fives, Season 3, the Pro Series. Blue team for the final time. Reese's Pieces in goal. Smiley Ivan Bojovic. Donis Quintero, aka Twinkle Toes, the poacher Gianluca Zamit, and the heartthrob Manuel Bustos. Let's not forget the three players that are challenging for the MVP right now, all on the same team. Reese's Pieces, the heartthrob, and the poacher battling it out to stop them from getting that top spot. On the red team, we have Pops, who has also got an outsider's chance at taking over the MVP, as well as most saves of the season. He is chasing Reese desperately, currently 8 behind him. No face, no case, Ibrahim Salis, the Prophet, Ezekiel, and Ferrari winger and Sledgehammer, aka Joe Willie TJ, the dynamite duo. When you put those two together, it's a bit of a cheat code in recent episodes. What do we think about the game today, Steve? What's your prediction?
There's a lot on the line, Dan. There's a lot to play for. I can't tell you who's going to come out on top. My preference would be probably for that cheat code that you mentioned between TJ and Willie. It must be, from what we've seen in the previous episodes, it has just been incredibly overpowered for the rest of the teams. However, if Blue Team come out with some very, very good performances, such as Donis, where we are definitely going to be seeing them vying for that win.
The Blue Team are kind of a mix-up of the best performance of the series so far, but there's a lot on the line for them. I think all 3 or 4 players all have something to play for. Donis and Manu competing for most assists. You've got Gianluca just wanting to finish on top of the goal scoring chart, but going head to head with Manu and Reese for top MVP player. Then you've also got Reese and Pops battling it out for most saves. There's a lot on the line in this game, a lot on the line.
It's an interesting matchup we're going to see between Gianluca and Manu, both playing on the same team, both vying for most of the same leaderboards. It's going to be a good game, I think.
TJ on the ball, plays it across to Ezekiel, who has his shot blocked from Ivan there. Ivan has been one of those players I would have loved to see a little bit more of from this season. Every time he's played, he's been a great addition to the team that he's on. Such a well-versed, small-sided player. Obviously plays a lot of small-sided football in his own time. So he's been an excellent addition to the series. Definitely someone we'll be looking to try get back for the next season. Decorated player, and really shows his experience when he plays in the five-a-side scene. Gianluca coming out of the back, playing lovely little one-touch football here. Blue team, Poacher is the one you want to be getting the ball in those areas, but Pops does well to make the save. And remember, every save each keeper makes this game is going to be all important for them, trying to get closer to the top spot of most saves. There's only 8 saves in it, so it really is going to come down to the wire this game. You're going to want to watch to see which goalkeeper is making the most saves, and Reese was in a great save there to equal TJ's sledgehammer effort. That's why he's got the nickname Sledgehammer. He is such a powerhouse when it comes to shooting the ball. No one likes saving his shots because they hurt.
Reese is going to be doubly interested in getting even more saves because he's also vying for that top MVP spot. So other than taking the gold in the most saves from Pops, he's also going to want to try and get up that leaderboard and challenge potentially Manu and Luca at the top of that. As we see now, he's very close to Gianluca. I can't see Gianluca having a quiet game though either, from what we saw last week and what we spoke about last week's episode. But it's all left to see. It's still 0-0. True, it's just been 4 minutes of the game, but it's shaping up to be a good one till now, with both keepers coming up with some very, very good saves to keep the score 0-0. We have to see a bit more pressure, I think, Dan, from both of the teams.
Yeah, the game's definitely still in first gear. I think players are just starting to get a feel for everything. I'm sure it will kick into fireworks soon, but yeah, balanced game so far. I think neither team wants to give away that first blow, which is creating a bit of a patient, let's say, start to the game here as teams are slowly working their way in and out. TJ on the ball, this is where you want to get him. Reese equal to that effort once again. Pops plays the ball through the middle to Ezekiel, tries to play it around the corner. Manu does well to intercept it. He's going to love those defensive points, with every tackle meaning so much more to him. Willie tries to play through, but Donis intercepts the ball well, gives it to Gianluca. And that's the position you really would expect Gianluca to convert from. Donis robbed of an assist there, maybe. Really should have put it away. Manu tries to play early there, takes the free kick super early, as you're allowed to do, but Pops makes the save. Donis switches the ball now across to Ivan. Ivan plays a Revi around the corner to Manu. Manu lays it into the middle to Donis. And again, that patient build-up working well. And Ivan tries to take the shot there, but Ibrahim is equal to it. What version of Ibrahim do we think we're going to get today?
From what we're seeing till now, I think he's been putting quite a bit of pressure on the ball. He's come up with a couple of good opportunities on goal. He created a chance for himself at the beginning of the game, hitting the post as well. So I'm not sure yet. It's just 5 minutes. Even when he got 7 goals in the game, it took him a bit of time to warm up. It might be the pressure of being in the final game of the season, and it's been such an exciting season until now. They all know what level of game has been played till now, so I'm sure it's all at the back of their heads that they need to put on a grand finale and a very, very good game at the end.
Pops on the ball here, looks to thread the ball through to TJ. A little bit of a loose touch there, but he does well to recover it. And now red team are looking to try and play out at the back here. Lovely little one-touch football. Willie's now going to drive through with Ibrahim on the outside. Reese with an excellent save. Oh, and this is where Poacher is usually at his absolute best. And how has he fired that over with so much time and space? He could have done anything in the world with the ball. And he just snatches at the chance, really unlike the Poacher there.
I would have given Reese a very good opportunity there to climb up the MVP table with a very, very unprecedented assist over there with just a clearance save.
Reese definitely going to be looking in angst there as Gianluca just blazes the ball over the bar.
Although we have seen in previous games how Gianluca does sometimes take a few chances till he gets his scoring boots on.
Just like that red team unlocking the blue team, that Willie TJ combination. Look at that. Play the ball over to TJ. Willie just turns the jets on, that Ferrari engine. TJ slices them open with one pass. Willie, ever so unselfish, lays it off to Ibrahim, who, let's face it, needs a goal after last week.
Needs a bit of that confidence booster in a goal after not a very good performance, although he has gotten himself on the score sheet already. Although it has to be said, in the last game, in that goal, Dan, I think Donis didn't exactly cover himself in glory by not tracking Willie's run over there. So might we see a bit of an interesting game from Donis?
Donis usually ever so reliable in the games. Very, very talented, small-sided player, usually much more alert. Usually, let's face it, the most alert player on the field. So, yeah, surprising one there from Donis.
It was speed versus speed, so you can't even say that he was outrun by the Ferrari winger in Willie.
Manu is needing one assist only to overtake, or to catch up to Donis, let's say, in the assist leaderboard. It's sat down. Donis is sat on 12. Manu is on 11. He needs one assist to get him there, and could he get it? That should have been it right there.
That should definitely have been it.
Gianluca missed that.
Again showing that he needs to get his scoring boots on, potentially in the second half, as we've seen in some previous games, but Manu being a bit cheated there from getting his one assist.
Maybe a little bit of mind games there. Maybe Gianluca saw it as Manu that gave him the pass and purposefully blasted it over to stop Manu getting the point.
I wouldn't put it past some of these players then. We all know how competitive they are.
Gianluca does well to get the point there for the nutmeg, so that's going to be a good point that he needs. TJ comes flying in there. Unintentional slide tackle, but it is going to go out for a blue ball sideline. Manu to restart the game here, driving out from the back, plays a lovely ball through. Gianluca gets his feet tangled, can't get the shot away. Willie with lovely pressure there. Ivan trying to turn, but Willie so fast there to come in and try and stop it. Ball out wide to Gianluca, and he's blazed over again. Gianluca, it's not his day today. Perhaps having a game like Ibrahim in the last game where nothing he gets goes into the goal.
It does seem like that a bit until now, but he's also not giving Pops the opportunity to get himself up the leaderboards in the saves, because he's just shooting everything off target till now.
Reece definitely making the most saves so far in the game in the opening 11 minutes. Definitely going to be happy. The happier of the two goalkeepers there, as he's been called into question a few more times than Pops and increasing that lead in the most saves leaderboard. Ibrahim does well to power his way through the line, and now blue team can counter-attack 3v1. Manu plays the ball through. It does arrive at Gianluca's feet eventually as he tries to squeeze the ball through, and it's not going to work, and it's booted into the net for blue team to restart from a free kick. Donis lays the ball off to Manu. Manu and Donis, very good friends outside of the Fives. Haven't seen that chemistry from them together just yet in this game. They're going to need to put it together like TJ and Willie in order to try and get blue team back into this game.
Blue team seem to be struggling a bit to get the ball rolling how they want it to be rolling realistically.
Good save there from Pops. The shot probably a little bit too close to him in the first place. Reece steps in there to intercept that pass that would have surely been a goal for Ibrahim at the back post. Ezekiel restarts the attack, gives it to TJ. TJ taking up a much more defensive position than we usually see from him.
TJ and Willie seem to have flipped roles in this game. Willie coming up with an assist on the other side after an incredible run.
This is where we see TJ most dangerous, playing that pin-up man striker, receiving the ball back to goal, holding Donis off there very, very well. And now he's going to advance himself into that attacking position as red team look to slowly work their way through to find the opportunity. Pops on the ball, plays the ball through, and Ezekiel's touch there is heavy.
Not the easiest person to hold off in Donis, but TJ seems to be doing a good job in that matchup over there.
Defender's doing a great job there to close down Manu, who needs points right now and isn't getting them. Blue team so far been shut out in the first 15 minutes of the game. They have not shown much, and if it finishes like this, the MVP race is going to be an interesting one. Gianluca does well to keep the ball in there, but it gives it straight back to red team. Ibrahim starting to work his way through, keeps hold of the ball somehow, and it goes back out to TJ, who's been given a little bit of space. Just drags it wide. Usually you'd find that rattling into the back of the net there with a lot of power. Just drags it wide.
Had to pass through a lot of bodies over there as well, the ball, so I don't think TJ had a very, very clear sight on goal.
Pops makes a good save down low to deny Gianluca another attempt at goal. Ibrahim stepping in, gives it to Ezekiel, and Ezekiel is going to restart the ball back out wide to TJ. And red team playing very patient right now.
I think they've realized that the blue team aren't really pressing them that much. Blue team have had some good opportunities in front of goal, not capitalizing in front of Pops though, unfortunately.
Good save from Reece there again.
Very good save.
Lovely nutmeg from Manu. He's going to pick up those little 1 points each time he gets a nutmeg and takes the shot wide. Pops makes the save though.
Very lucky save, I think, there for it to be counted. Just a very, very fingertip save. I know those types of saves, and you're always thankful that the ball goes out, because the amount of influence you would have on the ball with those is just very minimal, but it always looks amazing when you make a diving save like that.
Pops on the ball now, bringing it out the back. He's going to look to try and get a few points on the offensive there as well as he puts the ball through. Little 1-2, and the ball is now in an advanced area for red team as they get the ball out wide. Ezekiel on the ball, given some time and space to shoot, but Donis makes the block in front of him. Little nick there, little touch. That's half a point scored from Manu. We're into the final 2 minutes of the first half, and so far it's been very quiet. Probably the lowest scoring half of football that we've seen at the Fives.
I think it's been one of the quietest games till now. Quite the opposite of some of the other games we've seen, where it's been very open in the middle of the pitch and very, very box to box, forcing the keepers to make worldy saves in order to keep their teams in the game. And this is a game where both blue and red are being very cautious and very patient. I do think it is a bit of that pressure of it being the last game of the season. They're just trying to build up play, and they're both trying to, I guess, get on the score sheet.
I think obviously with the season coming to a climax, the worst thing in everyone's mind right now is just not to get injured, so that could be something to slow the game down a little bit as well. But right there, blue team picked the right time to get back into the game, And just like that, lovely little moment between the two MVP leaderboard players as Donis plays a lovely pass out wide to Gianluca. Gianluca is actually going to cut inside. You thought he might go for the shot. Willie definitely thought he was. As he plays a little reverse pass between the legs. That's a 2-point pass from Gianluca. Manu does well to then stop the ball and put it into the goal. 2 points for Manu for the goal and 2 points for the assist and the nutmeg by Gianluca. So they're going point for point right now. Every point Manu gets, Gianluca's chasing him and getting the points back as well.
I don't think it is going to be a case of either Manu assisting Gianluca's goal or Gianluca assisting Manu's goal, just as we saw over there, which is going to be very interesting to see at the end of this game, to see where they're both standing on the MVP leaderboards.
Great save from Reese there. Ezekiel on the ball. Oh my God, pick that one out your top corner. What a save from Reese there down low. But Ezekiel popped out of nowhere. He's had a bit of a quiet game again until now. Look at that. Rolls the ball out. Donis leaves a lot more of the goal open than he usually would. And Ezekiel just says thank you very much and absolutely slaps that into the top corner. And again, that was right at the final part of the half. All they needed to do, blue team, was kick it out and they would have gone into half time with their hard work getting them back into the game. But instead, within 30 seconds, they've let themselves down and red team took back over.
Blue team have fought very, very hard to get themselves back into this game, and no short part of that work is down to Reese, I think, making some very, very good saves in his own box. Being a bit, I think, let down by his team, not being protected enough, but red team are showing their prowess, I think, from the style of players which they have.
So definitely something to consider is the fact that at 2-1 down now, the goals haven't really come few and far between, so red team don't really look like they're letting up in terms of conceding anymore. Oh my God, TJ bringing it back. That's the TJ we're used to seeing. Give him half a yard and he just absolutely cannons the ball off the corner of the post and crossbar. Couldn't have got any closer. But blue team really are going to look like they might struggle to score in this game, because red team have looked like a well-oiled machine at the back so far and don't really look like they're going to concede anytime soon. Donis does well to get rid of the ball there. You can see Reese absolutely flying across the goal trying to stop Willie from scoring. Great footwork from Willie, but just couldn't get the shot away.
I think Reese is very apprehensive of the red team's goal scoring abilities in front of goal.
Corner to corner there. Red team have just kicked the ball out from their corner to give blue team a corner kick as well. Gianluca steps inside, fires it wide. He needs to hit the target soon or he is going to fall behind Manu in that all-important leaderboard change. We can confirm though that 2 points that Manu got from that goal he scored is enough to overtake Luca. So now Manu is currently sat in top spot. It is all to play for now. Manu needs to do all he can to try and stay as number one. Ball played across. Reese does well there. Reese, it'll be interesting to see how many saves Reese has made up until this point. Maybe he's crept in as well. Pops makes a lovely save there as well. Great save with his body. Ezekiel's now going to carry the ball forward, plays it across to Ibrahim, plays it back inside, but Donis is going to intercept. 3v1. This is usually where blue team are much more effective on the counter-attack as they play the ball through Ivan. Usually much better than that. Blazes it high wide over the goal. Ezekiel's going to come through and he's hit the crossbar. It's his turn to hit the crossbar. Red team really put in some shots on frame here.
I think blue team need to put a bit more effort on red team when they do have the ball. I think they're giving them a bit too much respect and too much space when they're attacking them, trying to soak up that pressure. But we've already seen the goalpost being hit twice by TJ and by Ezekiel in the second half. I think blue team definitely need to pull their socks up and get themselves back into this game.
Manu tries to squeeze the ball in there at the near post, something that's caught Pops out a few times throughout the series, but this time he has learned and made the save, and red team can counter if Ibrahim could sort his feet out, but it's just rolled away from him. 3 minutes into the game, red team still look quite comfortable in the game. Can't see blue team getting back into it right now. They're going to need to pull something creative out, and a little pass around the corner from Ivan, and that is the poacher we are used to seeing, a goal reminiscent of the goal he scored in episode 2 that won him goal of the game. Could this be another goal of the game for Gianluca in similar fashion? You see Manu has the ball here, rolls the ball into Ivan. Ivan with an outside of the foot scoop pass there. Gianluca does ever so well to control it into his first touch volley there. That is a superb goal, and it's 2-2. Blue team have got what they needed, but Willie driving through here. He's hit the crossbar now as well. That's 3 crossbars in the space of 3 minutes for red team. It is just not going in the goal for them.
Red team have been showing up with a lot more opportunities to get themselves ahead, but blue team have worked very, very hard to get themselves back on level terms with red team. Let's see if they can actually keep it that way.
Yeah, let's see if they stay alert now. They don't want to let any goals in straight away like they did in the first half, but they conceded 30 seconds later. Can they do better this time and keep that tied result for a little bit longer? Ibrahim definitely going to be the one trying to stop them from doing it, but Manu has the ball and he's driving out of the back, plays the ball through.
Another assist stolen from Manu by
Yeah,
Gianluca.
that was Donis with the finish there.
Oh,
what
Donis,
was Donis
yeah.
doing? Very unlike Donis. I thought he was just going to just tap it in, but he seemed to try and control it and ended up controlling it off the pitch. Manu, maybe Donis saw that it was Manu who played him the ball and didn't want him to catch him because he knows he's still currently ahead. So by doing that, he's actually denied Manu from catching him on the assist leaderboard.
That could be it.
That could be a crucial moment here in the fives from Donis.
Well, I think Donis just got caught in between 2 minds over there, between passing it back and trying to take a shot. So I guess he just got confused in his own feet.
Yeah, I definitely don't think Donis would have intentionally tried to sabotage Manu, but yeah, looks like it worked out that way because that is a crazy decision from Donis not to just tap that home. And Ivan again, good chance in front of goal and blazes high wide, not at all handsome, terrible finish again. Ivan usually much better in front of goal. We've definitely seen him score some lovely goals this season already. Red team are just going to see the ball out of play, but blue team restart from the goal kick here. And just like that, Gianluca is absolutely nailed by Ezekiel. And you hear Donis talking in the corner, telling him you deserve it because Gianluca hasn't been passing the ball all half, taking way too long to release the ball. We're zooming in on Donis there, telling him off.
I guess everybody gets what's coming to them, and Gianluca has shown in previous episodes as well that he is occasionally selfish, but you can't be top of the goal scoring leaderboard without being a selfish player, and obviously his nickname being the poacher, poaching from other players is always a selfish trait.
Exactly. Currently with that goal he scored today, that is 18 for his season tally total so far. So you don't score 18 goals in one season without holding on to the ball a little bit longer.
And Donis has been relatively quiet in this game, so I'd like to see a bit more of him. Potentially why blue team are struggling so much to get back into this game, because Donis is having such a quiet game, where we usually see him as being the heart and soul of every team which he plays for, and he spurs them on both at the top of the pitch and in the defending half. And now we're just seeing him have a bit of a quiet game.
Willie there starting to get rattled, didn't like the decision that went against red team there, not giving them the handball. But Manu had absolutely no idea the ball was hitting him on the hand. I couldn't give that as a handball. And Willie has started the conspiracy theory that Danny, the unprofessional footballer, is against Willie, and I give every decision against him. Which I think if you watch the season back, Willie, that for sure is not true. I don't know why you've come up with that statement. Apparently I am always against you, and you can see the frustration getting to Willie a little bit throughout the rest of this game. 10 minutes to go, it's still tied up at 2-2. Red team probably the favourites, however blue team have started to come into their own in the later stages of this first part of the second half, so it'll be interesting to see how the final 10 goes.
With Manu coming very, very close just a minute ago to taking the lead as well, which should be the first time we're seeing blue team in the lead. I think it is these small opportunities where we have seen red team hit the crossbar 3 times and Manu just not capitalizing on that very, very good chance which he had in front of goal, which just builds up to this very, very balanced performance from both teams, and this patient approach which we're seeing to creating the goals.
When a game is that close and it's 2-2, those chances, you start to rue them when you look back at them. Fine margins win you matches, and this could be a prime example of it. What a finish from Ibrahim. They get the free kick from the push on Willie, and TJ just threads the ball through the eye of the needle with that pass there. But Ibrahim, let's take a look at that finish. Absolutely beautiful. Second goal of the game for him. Definitely a better performance for him over the previous game. But look at that, takes the ball in his touch, left-footed, catches Reese up very early. Reese maybe a little bit too far out of his goal, not being able to get his hands to the ball because he's outside the box. But yeah, great finish from Ibrahim, and red team restore their lead 3-2.
I don't blame Reese for coming out there to smother the ball though. He was left one-on-one with the striker, so he has to come out off his line, try and smother the ball. Maybe could have placed himself in a better position before the shot was coming in, but the shot was taken early, so I guess Reese was just surprised by that.
Donis plays the ball into the middle to Gianluca. Blue team are going to need to try and rally again. It seems like every time they get back into the game, they're hit with another sucker punch, and it's time for them to rally and try to go forward again. Manu tries to find that top corner, but Pops makes the save. Obviously recovered from that one-arm bandit shoulder injury now. He's now back in full flow, and you're seeing the results of it now. Pops making some great saves.
I think Manu needs to get himself on the score sheet and get maybe another assist on his tally to get on level with Donis.
Currently doesn't have an assist this game, and all he needs is one to try and level it with Donis, who has not got an assist either. So really is all to play for here.
It is quite surprising and ironic that both of the top assisters were so close and are playing on the same team and haven't been able to assist any of their teammates.
The two most creative players of the series, like you said, and they are struggling right now, really not getting it together. Just looks a bit sluggish from both of them, to be honest. Maybe they're suffering a bit from creative burnout, having been so good in the previous season. Ivan there makes a challenge but falls over as he does it, and obviously we know the rules. There are no slide tackling in the fives, so that is given as a free kick to the red team. 7 minutes to go. What do we think so far? Has Gianluca done enough at the moment to try and overtake Manu, or is Manu sitting in top spot? Maybe Reese is going to have made a final play to take over.
I do believe that the competition to Manu is Reese in this game. Gianluca has also had a bit of a quieter game than usual. We've seen how many opportunities he's had in front of goal, which he hasn't taken advantage of. Manu also has had a quiet game, so I do think this is giving Greece a very, very good opportunity to climb up the leaderboard and give them both a run for the money.
Maybe Reese can sneak in and take it. Obviously Gianluca, with chances like that, if he is going to miss those, definitely isn't going to be deserving of the overall MVP leaderboard. I mean, he could have had 5 goals for sure in this game. But
he's not the only one.
Yeah, just not taking those chances. Manu and Donis also being a little bit quiet than we're used to seeing. And like this, it's 2v1. Red team surely have to punish. Oh, and it's a poor pass from Ezekiel, and Reese does well to intercept it.
Reese does incredibly well to actually come out on top as well in that encounter by also getting the goal kick.
Ivan can't get the ball out of his feet, and red team are going to be afforded another opportunity here. Ibrahim goes through, just drags it wide. Does Reese get the touch in it? No, he does make the save. It is gone out for a corner kick. And now red team can restart the game from the sideline there. Played into Ibrahim. Ibrahim is going to look to try and roll Manu into some space here. Just like that, they've gotten through, but Gianluca with some great defensive work to try and get back in. And blue team now have got back hold of the ball with 5 minutes to go. They need 1 goal to get back into the game. Ivan goes through, but Pops makes a good save, and TJ is able to escape with the ball, but he's been caught. Willie does well there to get in.
I think this is probably one of the disadvantages of having so many good players on the pitch then.
And just like that, red team counter from that messy little bit of play in the middle there. Willie's ball down the line, down to Ibrahim. Ibrahim does well to turn with it. Donis caught 2v1 at the back, and blue team have been caught out again. Tries to anticipate the pass, but Ibrahim does very, very well there to pick out Ezekiel with the open goal. Ezekiel gets his 2nd goal of the game. Not quite as impressive as the first goal he scored, but they all count. And 4-2, the lead has been doubled, and blue team have a bit of a mountain to climb now if they're going to try and get back into the game.
Very well structured team goal though from the red team, has to be said. came from the whole other side of the pitch, cut out the blue team completely. And Donis being caught in no man's land over there.
Donis complaining at the moment to the rest of the team about being left with 2 players at all times. His team have probably gone a little bit too gung-ho right now, and all of them charging forward, trying to get that goal back for the team. Has ultimately cost them, like you said, when you have this many good players on the pitch. Little mistakes like that really do cost you in the end.
It's just so easy to capitalize on any mistake, really, and it also creates such a good and balanced approach to the game, where every player is left questioning, how am I going to get past this player, or how am I going to score this goal? So it also leaves a lot of doubts in a lot of players' minds.
Gianluca strikes the post again. Ibrahim hands and knees, just baiting the blue team to come and press him. And then he restarts the attack back to Potts, who's going to look to try and find Ibrahim again. And just like that, they've just cut out 3 players, and red team can play on the counter. But Ivan does well to intercept. And just like that, blue team are offered a lifeline. But look at who got the assist. It's Ivan with the pass. The 2 most creative players, the ones that need the assist, aren't responsible for the goal. And just like that, that's another missed opportunity for Manu and Donis there.
2 minutes.
Battling it out for the assist chart.
If Manu would have been a bit more selfish there, I think he did have the opportunity to take the pass, to steal the pass off of Ivan. But we've all seen how generous Manu is in those situations. He's definitely going to steal the ball off of his own teammate, and would probably still set himself up. Would set Gianluca up for a goal, even if he knew that it would take him.
And that might be game over right there. Ibrahim with his hat trick. And that right there is just a laser bolt into the bottom corner. We saw Andre do a similar finish to Reece in the previous game. And Ibrahim just really showing some expert finishing once again. This is the Ibrahim that scored 7 goals in 1 game. Just given half an opportunity like that and just buries it with no mistake.
It is a bit unfortunate to see a 2-goal difference again between the red and the blue team, after blue team have worked so hard in the second half to try and close that gap. And maybe another opportunity there, which has been expertly defended by TJ.
TJ just using his brute force there to bully the ball back off of Manu, who really had an open goal to just tap it in. Should have taken it first time and tried to go for the goal.
But it's again what we were talking about earlier, Dan. When you have so many good players on the pitch, you second guess everything because you don't know what's going to work and what isn't. So I think that is playing a very, very big part in the players' heads.
10 seconds remain. It is all to play for now. Those final few half points for defending could be all important in the race for the MVP. As TJ breaks away, TJ through on goal, lays the ball across. Ibrahim lays it back off to Ezekiel. Red team just toying with it, and they give the ball straight into the hands of Reece. Reece picks up half a point for that save there, rolls it out to Manu. It's now or never for blue team. Can they record one last play? Ball played out to Ivan, back to Donis. Donis plays it through to Gianluca. Willie does well to get the ball, and he belts it off the pitch in frustration. Just like that, 5-3 to the red team. Blue team couldn't do enough. Red team just saw it out, and very responsibly in the final periods of that game, they just popped the ball around the back and wasted a bit of time, much to blue team's frustration. Let's have a look at some of the recap of the game here. You can see some of the goals from today on the screen right now. Steve-O, what did you think of the game overall?
I think it was a very, very good and technical game. It was a different approach to most of the other games we've seen this season. Wasn't as box to box, wasn't as open. We saw a lot of very good and technical players on the ball coming up with very good matchups as well. And Pops and Reece covering themselves in accolades over there, showing why they are the top 2 goalkeepers of this season. I think it was, just a different approach to the game. A very interesting watch.
I think we're going to have a look at the man of the match now, which has been awarded to Mr. Ferrari winger himself, Joseph Willie, for, let's face it, quite a defensively dominant display from him. He was all over the field. He picked up 1 assist as well. But again, a quiet game for most players has allowed Willie just to sneak in and pick up the points there. It's an extra 5 points on the leaderboard for him, as well as an assist and a believe 27 individual defensive displays from him. We're going to look at his highlights in just a moment and see some of the best plays from him today. So look at that, a great block there to stop Gianluca getting the goal. Again, coming across and blocking the ball wide. And that's really what we saw from Willie today, just covering every blade of grass with just how fast and dominant he was there. Gets the ball here, little one-touch play with TJ, accelerates into space, gives the ball out to Ibrahim, and that really should have been a good opportunity there to get some points. And then this was the assist. He makes the great run in behind, plays it to Ibrahim for the empty goal. And just like that, that's why he won man of the match. I mean, again, a game that we could have really thought a few players would have stood out with some remarkable moments, and we were left a little bit waiting for them. Gianluca does pick up goal of the game for the volley that he scored. Lovely goal, a little bit of brilliance from him. And that 5 points that he wins for goal of the game might end up being the thing that creeps him above Manu, because let's face it, Manu had a bit of a quiet game. This could be the deciding factor. 5 points is a huge tally. Lovely finish on the volley. What did you think about the volley?
The volley, I think Gianluca's first touch to set himself up for the shot was even better than the shot itself. We've all seen how prolific Gianluca is in shooting the ball and getting goals, but that control, I think, is one of his underrated skills. We've seen some very good control for some of his goals in the rest of the season, and not a very easy ball to control that as well. With a lot of spin and a lot of lob from Ivan.
So we're going to take a look at the leaderboards. Obviously, this is what really matters now. And let's start with the goal scorers. Top goal scorers list. No surprises. Gianluca sat in top spot with 19. He added 2 goals to his tally this game. So that puts him on 19. The final leaderboards we'll look at. Andre Kataya with 13. Manu also recorded 1 goal today, which pushed him tied in 3rd place with Mr. No Face, No Case Ibrahim Salis, who got a hat-trick and scored 10 goals across 3 games. And Keon holding on to 5th place there with 9 goals in the 2 games that he played. What do we think about the goal scorers race across the season, Steve-O?
I think it was pretty obvious that Gianluca was going to be the one who was going to be vying for first place. Andre gave him a very, very good run for his money. I think if Andre would have just got another good game in there, or potentially if he wouldn't have had that injury to his toe, who knows what would have happened, to be honest. But I think it's going to be the story of a lot of these players in these leaderboards, a story of what if they got another game, what if they didn't get that injury, what if they didn't go on holiday. But definitely props to Gianluca for getting the gold medal over there. I think he was first for 90% of the season and definitely deserving of the gold medal there.
I mean, the 5 goals he scored in the first episode really just set the standard, and he's been a force in front of goal since. A lot of goal hanging, similar to Milky Bar Kid in season 2. But let's face it gets results. We've seen now in the past 2 seasons, the top goal scorer has been the player that sat up front and waited for the ball and taken the opportunities when they've come. Obviously, he has played a lot more games in comparison to some of the other players, but it's paid off for him. Top goal scorer, he really has showed some key moments. 3 goal of the game awards across the season. So really well-deserved, I think.
And we'll see how much this propels him into the overall MVP leaderboard as well at the end of this analysis. But until then, let's get into the most assists. Manu wasn't able to get a single assist to get drawn points with Donis, who also couldn't get a single assist in this game. It's bewildering how the 2 players who created the most through the entirety of the season couldn't come up with a single assist through the whole game.
It's a shame that Luca wasn't available for this game as well. It would have been lovely to have another player on that list that could have tried to jump over the both of them for being so sloppy.
Potentially could have capitalized on Manu and Donis not providing for the rest of their team, and Luca could have just ridden that wave and potentially even taking over Donis as well. As we've seen, we've had some 4 assists, 5 assists in a single game. So Luca definitely could have been giving him a run for his money.
Gianluca and Willie tied in that final position there with 7. So they both managed to record their assists this game, which helped them remain on the leaderboard. So well done to them. Let's take a look at best defender, which again, I think Charles in that final game in episode 9 really just laid claim to that top spot and made that his. Luca's absence from today's game definitely wrapped it up and made it within Charles's reach without Manu providing some sort of crazy defensive game, which we didn't see from him today. Manu in the end recorded 15 defensive plays, which put him in second place, overtook Luca. However, wasn't enough to get anywhere near Charles, who has been a dominant force at the back. I think definitely for the next time we bring the pros in, we need to bring 1 or 2 more out-and-out centre-backs like Charles, because it really has been interesting watching defenders play in the fives.
Yeah, Charles' explosive performance last week definitely propelled him into quite a big distance between first and second. Manu, although coming up into second, unfortunate that Luca has been pushed down or out of most of the leaderboards where he was present throughout, again, the majority of the season. A bit unfortunate there, but props to Manu as well for showing up on all of the leaderboards now. And I can't wait to see what effect that's going to have on the overall MVP. Has he won over Gianluca, or has Gianluca pipped him to the end? Before that, let's have a look at the most saves. Reece edging it out over Pops. We saw Reece was ahead before this game, and he has remained ahead with 6 more saves. So 6 saves, I think, Dan, that was just the last 2 minutes of last week's game. So that's literally the fine margins that we're talking about in these games. Just 2 minutes over the entirety of 5 or 6 games is the difference between first and second. Andrea, of course, a game less, and still showing a very good rendition over there with 110 saves. Although realistically, he couldn't have hoped for anything better than anything worse than third, because Fabian and I only had 1 game under our belt. But still very, very good performances from Andrea, I think, with the best saves per game performance, I think, from all 3 of the keepers. Although Reece did edge it out because he had that extra game.
Yeah, I mean, Pops in the end actually ended up playing 1 more game than both Reece and then 2 games more than Andrea. I think Pops ended with 7 games, Reece on 6, and Andrea ended with 5 games. But ultimately, when you look at that race, it was razor close. And in the final game, Pops actually outsaved Reece by 2 saves. Pops made 19 saves in episode 10. Reece only made 17. But like you said, those saves he made in that final 2 minutes of the previous episode have come in clutch, and they've ultimately won him the Golden Glove, the most saves of the season. And
potentially even got him a podium position for the overall MVP too.
So let's go ahead and spoil the overall leaderboard for the MVP. This is the most important award that a player can win in the fives. And Manu Bustos has taken the lead on the final episode and etched himself into the fives glory by beating Gianluca by 1.5 points on the final day. That means, ladies and gentlemen, the goal that Manu scored ultimately in this game won him the series. 3 of the defensive plays he made this season won him the series, or 2 of the nutmegs that he made won him the series. That's how close it was to Gianluca overtaking him with that goal of the game award. All Gianluca needed was 3 more defensive plays. If he wasn't such a poacher in that game and maybe went hunting for those half points, we would be talking about a different player in top spot holding the gold medal. The heartthrob is the overall winner of the Unprofessional Fives Season 3, the Pro Series. Amazing performance throughout from Manu. Really, really impressive. Let's go ahead and take a look at his all-time leaderboard stats for the series. 6 games, 10 goals, 11 assists, 11 nutmegs, 85 defensive plays, 1 goal of the game, 3 wins, 3 losses, and a total of 98.5 points, which means 16.42 points per game, putting him as one of the highest scoring points per game players of the series. Really remarkable output from Manu. And we can confirm that Manu has also put an end to his absence from Maltese football. And I can confirm for this season upcoming, 24-25, he has signed with Arla Saints Football Club in Gozo. And you will be seeing Manu back on your TV screens in the Gozitan Premier League. Very happy for him. He can celebrate winning the Fives with a brand new contract from a new team. And I cannot wait to see what Manu has to bring on the 11-a-side football stage. In second place, Gianluca Zamit. Let's go through his all-time stats. 6 games, 19 goals, 7 assists, 5 nutmegs, 52 defensive plays, 3 goals of the game, 2 wins, 97 points, and finishes with 16.17 points per game. Again, another outstanding season from Gianluca, and that has also earned him a brand new contract with Challenge League stalwarts. Now, they've been in the league for quite some time. It is Fgora United. So he's going to be playing with them this season. And in third place, by half a point, Reece Garlia, aka Reese's Pieces, has managed to overtake Luca Gatt by 1 save. He has managed to put himself in front and earn that coveted bronze medal. Let's take a look at Reese's all-time stats. 6 games, 1 assist, 15 defensive displays, 131 saves, 1 man of the match, 3 wins, 88 total points, and a total points per game of 14.67. Very, very good showing from Reece. Looking at Luca Gatt, very unfortunate, to be honest, because in 5 games, 1 game less than everyone else on the leaderboard above him, 8 goals, 5 assists, 83 defensive plays, 2 man of the matches, 1 goal of the game, 3 wins, 87.5 points. He actually averaged 17.5 points per game. So realistically, on average, he's been robbed.
He has been robbed, definitely. It was just that 1 goal, one game less than all the other players, because he has a better points per game ratio than any of the players which we've seen till now. So that 1 more game that Reece has played over him would definitely have put him in 3rd place over Reece.
We'll take a look at Pops as well, who's just managed to creep onto the 5th place of the leaderboard as well. Pops' all-time stats for the series, 7 games, 1 goal, also being the only goalkeeper to record a goal for a 2nd season straight. 3 assists, 1 nutmeg, 12 defensive plays, 125 saves, 2 wins, 80.5 total points on the board for Pops, 11.5 points per game due to playing that extra game than some of the other players above him. Pops, reliable as always, a Season 2 favourite, again has pushed himself into Season 3 fame. Very happy for Pops. He's, I believe, returning to Sweetie United Futsal Club. And Luca Gatt, just to mention as well, has earned himself a contract at Zeebrugge Rangers FC in the Challenge League as well. I'm looking forward to seeing Luca playing for the Green and Yellow Army this season too. Steve-O, what was your favourite moment of the season?
I'm not gonna lie, Dan. I think my favorite episode, part of the season till now has been that incredible goal scored by Yuya, where he managed to chip it over what I think the tallest player that's played this season, over Mish. The incredible technique that he showed over there to chip it over him and then score that amazing goal on the volley. I don't know. I think that's just been the most incredible goal I've seen this season.
It really was remarkable. We haven't been short of outstanding moments. Obviously, we've seen 10 goals of the game. So, guys, it's now your turn to help us decide on what is going to be crowned goal of the series. And you can help us decide on that vote by going over to Instagram to @UnprofessionalFootball5s and join in the voting on the polls that are going to be held to crown the goal of the series. And there's going to be a few other awards that are going to be granted, and you guys are going to be responsible for voting those players as the winners. I'm sure we'll do something for the goalkeepers like Save of the Series. There's been a few saves from Reece and Andrea that have been absolutely outstanding. So for sure, we'll put some rub on the goalkeepers too. But guys, make sure you do check us out on Instagram. There's going to be a lot more stuff dropping on that page. So if you've enjoyed this series and you don't want your content to end for football, then go ahead and follow us on Instagram. You can get some content from us there while we are on pause, getting the editing done for season 4, which I can reveal now to be the Vibes season. We're going to have the youngest, hungriest footballing talent from Malta taking over your YouTube screens from probably the month of January onwards. We're going to look to do it in line with the transfer window reopening, and you're going to be getting some wicked content. You're going to see the return of the Unprofessional Footballer. I have healed from my hamstring and I take part in that series. You are going to see the return of Cameraman, and you are going to see a lot more games from him. Which other players came back from injury that season? You're going to see Miguel Sherry making his return from injury. He came back into the fold in the final few episodes. And let's just say there's some familiar fan favourites from season 2 back on your screens. You're going to see the likes of Schoolboy, the likes of Milky Bar Kid, Grimaldo, the Moose. So many players that you love to see on your screens. They're back, and it's going to be another wicked season filled with bangers, amazing skill moves with players. Oh, there's one player you need to watch, and that is Mido. Mido is the human highlight reel, definitely someone you want to keep your eyes on. I'm going to put a little clip just here so that you can see what is to come from this player, Mido. So take a look on screen right now. This is the caliber of players that we've got coming in the Vibes season. So make sure you come back and tune in for season 4. And there's going to be a lot more details about that being dropped on the Instagram page in the coming months. So be sure to check us out there. Subscribe to the Unprofessional Footballer so that you don't miss any more content from us. And guys, leave a like on the season finale so we know that you've been here from the beginning, and let us know down in the comments below what your favorite moment was. Do you agree with Steve? Was Yuya's goal just so outrageously good that should be set in stone as the moment of the series? You let us know down below. Your voice matters, and we will see you guys next season. Thank you very much for tuning in. See you later.